Good morning, live. Today is Wednesday. This is Billy Rowe. You know what time it is. It's time for the Wednesday Word. As you can see behind me, I'm not in the outdoors. Number one, it's raining outside. But number two, work called really early today. So I'm at work before I'm even on my Wednesday Word. But as I always tell you guys, I'm committed to being on here at 7:30 to engage with you guys. So let's get to it. Today's topic is life after death. So last week I did a video that said the title was "We Make Our Fears Real." And I told you it was kind of a two-part thing because I feel like death is something that is scary for a lot of people, and probably rightfully so because it's a very big unknown. But what I'm talking about, life after death, is not in the spiritual sense of us journeying to the hereafter or figuring out what comes after that deep sleep comes upon us, or whatever you want to refer to it as. What I'm referring to is the lives that are left behind after death. I was actually contacted personally to actually speak about this topic, so I hope I do this topic justice. We will find out, as always, because we're live. Good morning to the two people that are on. I can't see their names because of how I have my phone, but good morning and thank you for tuning in. So life after death, like I said, what I'm talking about is the lives that are left behind, not necessarily the life that is lost, but the lives that are left behind. And as I said last week, in my family particularly, my family struggles with death, with accepting death as a part of the living process. It's a part of life. It's like you find out very early in life that, good morning, that it's not, our lives are not indefinite. They definitely are finite. We have this much time in this much universe. Can't even see my hands. But anyway, what it kind of led me to believe or led me to think about or reflect on when I was coming from last week's video was that what is the fear about death that we have, where we feel like we must continually mourn the person who we've lost. And in many ways, I've identified for me that the fear is a fear of forgetting the person, a fear of forgetting who you have grown to love, who you have grown to care about, who you have shared many memories with. And I think what we do is, in an essence, to almost, it sounds crazy, but almost guilt ourselves into wanting or not feeling like all of our relationship with this person was in vain. We refuse to let go. And I don't mean let go, forget them completely. I just mean let go and accept that they are no longer here. Now, it's normal and natural for humans to miss people. I mean, people don't have to die for you to miss them, so I can only imagine that there's a greater longing for time with the person when they are gone and you can no longer be in touch with them. So for me, the first part that I had to really look at is what am I fearing of forgetting? And I'm fearing forgetting the person, but you have to really take a step back and realize that the life that you continue to live has been forever changed by the person who is no longer here. So what that leads me to believe is that life after death is very much first and foremost about carrying on the torch. Back before Instagram, TV, television, electronics, elders of tribes would get together with the tribe that they were a part of, and they would tell stories. They would share stories about, great battles and stories about great adventures and great accomplishments and great men and women of the tribe. They would share these stories, and these stories were passed from generation to generation to generation. And in a sense, they were a legacy of the people that had came before them, the minds, the wisdom, the knowledge that had came before them. And it acted as layers that you could build upon. I like not having to hold my phone because I can actually use both hands. But they acted as layers that you could build upon. And many ways, death is a part of that, where we're worried about losing a person, or we're sad because a person is no longer here. Not saying you have to be excited, but you should feel honored that this person has spent a portion of their life, their lifetime with you, no matter how brief it may be. They've spent a portion of their lifetime with you in order to pour something into you that is going to be internal as you pour it into others, and so on and so forth. So similar to what they say, how energy never really goes away, it just changes forms and is repurposed. They say ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and as our bodies break down, we become the soil, and the soil feeds grass, which feeds cows, which feeds whatever, and it's just this cycle of using the same things. That's similar to what my interpretation of that legacy of death is I'm still here when my parents pass away, and all the lessons that they've poured into me, I'm pouring into my children, and I'm pouring into Facebook Live, and I'm pouring into my wife, and I'm pouring into family and friends and strangers. And so when I leave, it may be sad that I'm gone, but I'm really relying on those people who are still here to carry forward the lessons that I've either poured into them or that have been poured into me at some point. And so the benefit of that is, because you know death is imminent, it's coming. We just don't know when it's going to come, but we don't know when. Death also has this ability to be liberating. Good morning, Aunt. Because when you realize that you have this much time in life, no matter how much it is, when you realize that there's a beginning and an end to your lifespan, it helps liberate you from the fears of jumping into action and making choices to be happy. So a quick brief story about myself. Yesterday, I was sitting at work, and I felt very dissatisfied with what my job is and what I want to be doing in life. And so I really just had to have a moment of clarity, and I reached out to my wife and let her know, hey, I'm getting ready to go into my boss's office and let him know that I'm going to be resigning. Now, I'm not the person who's just like, I quit, I'm out, throw my hands up and just walk out of a job. That's not me. But basically, I told him it's time to start decommissioning my role in our department, so that way it's not a shell shock when I leave. And I can do that fearlessly, not because I'm not worried about what may happen or what might come afterwards. There's definitely logical concerns, but I can do that fearlessly because I realize that my time is limited, and we spend a significant portion of our lives at work. If you spend 40 hours at work, if you part-time, you spend 20 hours a week at work. Doesn't matter. We spend a significant amount of time at work. So I refuse to allow my finite amount of time to be encumbered with misery and not carrying the torch that others who have come before me have entrusted me to carry. That's the reality for me, at least. When it comes to life and death, the people that have left me behind, we'll say, and that have passed on, they've entrusted in just the fact that they shared this time span that they had with me. They've entrusted me to carry a torch. And so that's as far as I want to go into it today. You're welcome to jump into the comments or inbox me personally if you have questions. But I just want you to realize the great opportunity that you have when it comes to life or death, that your life should continue. And as I said last week, the living should not be consumed by death. That's how I see it. That we are here living, we were meant to live. And at some point, you have to relinquish the fear of forgetting somebody and accept the privilege that you knew that person, and trust that your connection with that person was genuine enough to where you'll never be able to forget them. There's people who I've lost years and years and years, and over 10 years ago, that I still think of today. Even when I do these videos, when I'm thinking of a topic like this, they are some of the first people that come to my mind, and I think about how they changed the course that I was on, or how they made me more compassionate, or how they made me more aware. And so it's my goal to bring that awareness to others, whether it's through the Wednesday, whether it's through something that I've written as a post. And at all times, it's definitely through being transparent and honest with you guys. So I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. It's Wednesday morning. Let's get out there and get at it. I know the tone is kind of somber today, but that's because I'm in office and the topic is kind of somber for me. But let's get out there and get it. As always, if you like it, share it. If you share it, like it. I always look forward to engaging with you guys in the comments. Let's engage. This is a deep topic, and I feel like it impacts a lot of us. It impacts us in regards to depression. It impacts us in regards to anxiety and a whole host of other areas. So let's engage. Let's talk about it. Let's get some thoughts out there. But I will see you guys in 7 days.